Going to the book of Joshua. Joshua 24. Joshua 24, verses 14 through 18. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Joshua 24, verses 14 through 18. And my other text will be Luke 15, 17. Luke 15, 17. Both of these stories, especially those that are ministers of the gospel, when you look at it, it's a familiar passage. Amen. This is what God has laid on my heart. And I pray that it may be a blessing to you. Amen. And it reads at Joshua 24, 14, are we there?
Amen.
And it reads at verse 14, now therefore fear the Lord and serve him in sincerity and in truth, and put away the gods which your fathers served on the other side of the flood and in Egypt, and serve ye the Lord. And if it seem evil unto you to serve the Lord, choose you this day whom you will serve, whether the gods which our fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites, in whose land ye dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord.
Amen.
And the people answered and said, God forbid that we should forsake the Lord to serve other gods. For the Lord our God, he is that brought us up and our fathers out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage, and which did those great signs in our sight, and preserved us unto all the way wherein we went, and among all the people through whom we passed. In the final verse, and the Lord drove out from before us all the people, even the Amorites, which dwelt in the land, therefore will we serve also. And the Lord, for he is our God. And let the people of God say,
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. Amen. Today's subject matter, I will be dealing with taking a stand.
Amen.
Taking a stand. You may be seated. Amen. Taking a stand. Those that are familiar with Joshua, I will call him, he would be the one that Moses passed on the baton to. He was the right hand of Moses in a sense, because Joshua was young at this time, but yet and still, if you go back to the book of Exodus, as they was getting ready to make that exit out of Egypt up under the leadership of Pharaoh.
Amen.
But Joshua, which had faith and experience, because if you look back at Exodus chapter 17, the Bible said that it was a great war waging against the Amalekites. And Joshua was within that war and was fighting with that war with Moses. And the Bible said Moses' arms would begin to get heavy.
Amen.
So the Bible also says that Joshua fought with them. And sometimes I tell you, fathers and mothers, you got to learn how to have faith and experience, especially in these times that we yet face. The reason being is because the enemy is trying to trouble us on every side. As Paul said in the book of 2 Corinthians, he said, we're troubled on every side, but yet not perplexed. We're cast down, but yet not destroyed. Yes. And I come by here to tell you that many times in this age, in this life, in this time and era, that the enemy is out to destroy fathers. They're out to destroy men. Oh, you don't want to talk to me today. They're out to destroy them. Reason why? Because if the enemy can destroy the head, he'll destroy everything else. He will cause the mother to be a mother of single parent. Now she got to play two roles. And if you go back to Genesis, the Bible said when he created man, it wasn't good for him to be alone. So he allowed a deep sleep to come on Adam in Genesis chapter 2 and allowed him to go into a deep sleep, and he removed the rib and put it into a woman. Now Adam said, this shall be woman, because she's flesh of my flesh and bone of my bone. So God never destined for a woman to be by herself. He never destined for a man to be by himself. So he wanted two to come together. But now, since everything is so weird to the liberality age, wherefore it's okay for men to be with men and women to be with men. That's what the world says. And even Obama supported, but me standing here acting on the word of God is still wrong. I don't care what governor say. I don't care what Obama say. I don't care what the commissioner say. It's still wrong for two men to be together. It's still wrong for two women to be together. It's all wrong. I don't care if you was born a man and you changed yourself into a woman. It's still wrong.
All right, go ahead now.
We got to learn to take a stand back. Back in our homes.
Amen.
So that's why this is where our foundation is in the church. It's not around the corner. It's not at your brother's house. It's not at your sister's house. It's in the house of the Lord. Yes. And that's why men have to gird up their loins, strap up their boots, and get ready for warfare, because we got some real devils to fight. We ain't got time to be playing patty cake. No, we got real enemies that's coming against us like a flood, that's trying to speak against us, trying to sow seeds of discord, and trying to get division in our house and division within our minds. So do you know that men are more suicidal than women? Why? Because they carry a heavy load. Or you don't want to talk to them. They carry a heavy load. They deal with other issues that women don't have to deal with. They deal with pressures that women don't have to face. Why? Because God put it on a man to deal with. That's why he's the head. That's why you have to line up with the way the word has instructed us and has structured for us to be.
Amen.
Jesus.
Amen.
If you want to live long, don't try to do everything yourself.
Amen.
So you got a lot of men, they want to tackle all the bills. They want to tackle all the responsibilities themselves. Men, let me tell you something. You shouldn't be paying all the bills.
All right.
No, that's why he created a helpmate. Someone to come along to assist you. Somebody to come along to help you. Someone to come along to help you bear the load. That's why y'all became one. You didn't become one to be divided. No, it's not your light bill. It's our light bill. It's not your rent. It's our rent. Come on, somebody. It's not your car. It's our car. Why is our car? Because we ride in it together. We put gas in it together. Why is our light bill? Because we enjoy the AC together. I come out here to tell you, you got to learn how to take a stand.
That's right. That's right.
But here, Joshua, back to the story. Joshua set the tone. Here, Joshua, as they have moved out of the land of Egypt, they have passed over, and Moses have handed down the 10 Commandments. They went through Mount Sinai, and now Moses have struck in the rock. In the book of Numbers, the Bible says he struck the rock, and God told him to speak to the rock. And he missed his earthly blessing, even though he still went to heaven. I come out here to tell you, don't let nobody miss your blessing. If you've been going through it, and God is trying to get you to the promised land of life, I come out here to tell you, don't let a devil, auntie, mama, sister, brother, cousin, Uncle Bobo, or whoever he is, stop you from missing that and possessing that you've been working for, laboring for, praying for, fasting for, and seeking God for. You better learn how to strap up your bootstraps and say, wait a minute, devil, I'm getting ready to fight and do battle up in here, because I'm going to stand on the word of God. I'm going to have faith. Oh, come on, somebody. God never told you to speak to talking about climbing up the rough side of the mountain. Even though we like to sing the song, we used to say it all the time. I'm climbing up the rough side of the mountain. God never told you to climb nothing. He said just speak to the mountain. It shall be removed.
Amen. Come on.
It shall be removed.
Yes, sir.
Some problems require creative solutions. Use your God-given imagination and let the ideas flow.
Okay.
See, Joshua here, he is as a young predecessor. Young. But he's getting ready to lead them into the land of Canaan. The Bible says, and actually they don't get to the land of Canaan until Joshua chapter 6. The Bible says that's when they invaded the land. But he sent a Rahab, which was a prostitute, to come to hide the spies. And her family was spared. I come out here to tell you, sometimes God got a ram in the bush. When God has given you a plan, he's giving you somebody to back up your vision, Pastor. How do you know? Because he's going to send somebody to say, yes, you're supposed to be established. Yes, you're supposed to preach. I don't care if it's 10, 20, or 20,000, but I'm going to send somebody as a confirmation to let you know that your work and labor ain't
all right.
Amen.
I'm going to let you know. So here's Joshua, the young man, and as he done led them into the land of Canaan. Before that, if you go back to Numbers 13, the Bible said they began to speculate amongst themselves, talking about, oh, it's giants and the city is walled up. But Joshua and Caleb, these were two unique men. And they came back with evidence. The Bible said they came back with a cluster of grapes and they had to put a pole between it because the grapes were so big. I never seen grapes that big, but I believe the word. The Bible said they came back with a cluster of grapes and two people had to carry these grapes from the land of Canaan back to the camp. And I come out here to tell you, when God gives you evidence, come on somebody, you better learn how to stand on the word of God. Come on somebody. When God gives you evidence, when God says yours is yours, when God said the house is yours, is yours. When God said the job is yours, you may not have a high school diploma, but if God said you're going to be the CEO, if God said you're going to be the president, if God said you're going to be the school teacher, you may just not be getting your high school diploma at 45. That don't mean nothing to God. He used Moses at 40. I come out here to tell you, if God say it's so, let it be done because he has etched it in stone.
All right, all right.
Amen.
If you shoot at nothing, you will surely hit it. A successful father always has goal oriented.
That's right, that's right.
See, a head should have goals set. When he meet a woman, and when he meet a woman, he should meet a good thing.
All right.
Proverbs says that, I believe it's in the chapter 18, we say you either find a wife, find her a good thing. See, brothers, you gotta make sure you find her something good. Let me just get in that a little bit. You gotta make sure you find her something that's good. Because you got many wolves in sheep clothing. I remember they made a movie called A Devil in a Blue Dress.
All right.
So you got many devils that's out here. That's what the Bible say in Proverbs 31, a virtuous woman is hard to find.
Yeah.
She ain't easy. The reason why she's not easy, because it's many that's out there, but the only one is only very few that are virtuous.
All right, all right.
That's what the Bible says, hard to find.
Hard to find.
Amen.
That's what the Bible says, who can find? If by giving the illustration of who can find, that means it's something that you have to search for.
All right, all right.
Because if you didn't have to search for this specific woman, it would have never said who can find.
All right.
Should have been available, like if you go to Walmart and you go into the produce section and you see oranges and grapes and you can just pick over. Should have been just that easy. But sometimes even when you go to the produce department, you have to pick over your fruit because you see a little fly flying on this and that banana look a little brown, but you dig a little deeper and you dig over here, you dig over there, you find you one that look right, one that looks good, one that looks fresh. Why? Because you don't want nothing that's tainted and contaminated.
Come
I come
on.
out here to tell you,
That's right.
it's important.
That's right. Amen.
Go ahead.
Nobody want a contaminated wife.
That's right, that's right.
Nobody want a contaminated husband. That's what the Bible says. Man would rather be on a rooftop than in a house with a squalling woman.
All right now.
See, that's why it's important, saints, that who we connect with. See, that is important. A lot of times people look at poker too. And me, yes, we are wrapped up on poker too because we're attracted by what we see. Women are feminine, so they're attracted by what they hear. So if a man talks well, he ain't even got to look well. If he talks well, and you may look at him and say, well, how did jacked up brother look with that good looking sister?
That was me.
Why? Because the way he make her feel. That's why he would have. But you'll see another man with another woman, and you be like, man, he with her. She got a bad mouth, but she look like Halle Berry. Somebody can't understand that.
All right.
Amen. Amen.
Because he got caught up in rappings. And many times in life, we get caught up with the wrappings of life. We get caught up with how the package looks instead of what's inside the package.
Amen.
You gotta go ahead and preach it, preacher.
That's why some people we dated and we wish we would have got there. We wish, but then we ought to thank God when he intervened and said, no, he ain't the one. No, she ain't the one. He looks good. He got good credit. He got good to the singles. I don't know if there's single sisters, but if there's any in here, don't fall for the rapping sister. Don't fall because he got a good job. He pays bills on time. He got excellent credit. Because I read stories where men dressed well, drove well, had good bank accounts and excellent credit, and was crazy as a bad boy with murderers and rapists and terrorists and pushers. Oh, come on, somebody. Then if you flip the coin, I've seen the worst men of life and still carry the same attitude. So don't get caught up on the Cadillac.
Amen. Amen.
All right now. Preach it, preacher. You on it.
See, but Joshua held his ground Joshua 14, 24:14 said, now therefore fear the Lord and serve him in sincerity and in truth, and put away the gods which your father served on the other side of the flood. See, sometimes some things that we're trying to invade new territory, we're going into a new height, a new arena of life, and some things we're still holding on to. Some old couch we're still holding on to that we need to let go. You don't want to let go of it. The reason why you don't want to let go because grandma sat on it, your auntie Lulu back in 1913.